What's up YouTube, and I'm back at you with another video. And in this video I'm just going to give my prediction for 5 matchups in week 11. But if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and by doing so it greatly helps out my channel and helps me grow as a content creator. A lot of good games this week, and I'm going to start off with the first game. The first game I'm going to talk about is the Clemson Tigers versus the Louisville Cardinals. Now this is an interesting matchup, guys. We all know Clemson is coming off a loss to Notre Dame, and a game where Notre Dame pretty much shut Clemson's offense down. If I'm not mistaken, they held Will Shipley, Clemson's star running back, to 63 yards rushing. Notre Dame did a phenomenal job, guys, and they beat them 35-14 in a game, that kind of shocked everybody, but Clemson actually has already clinched the ACC, Atlantic Division, and with a win over Louisville, they'll definitely, it'll be official that they've clinched it. And playing against a team in Louisville, they got a good, quarterback in Malik Cunningham. He's thrown for 1,477 yards. He has 8 touchdowns on the season. He does have 4 interceptions, so he does turn the ball over, but Louisville is definitely a run-first team, and they're very deadly on the ground, running the ball. DJ Ugalele, he's thrown for 1,994 yards and 18 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, but he's been benched the last 2 games, and I expect Clemson to go with Cade Klubnik, to be the starting guy. He just adds a spark to the offense, and I think going forward, Clemson's going to have to go with this guy, to keep the offensive going. Looking at the stats, Clemson is averaging 34.6. Louisville's averaging 30.2 points per game. So the edge goes to Clemson slightly. Points allowed per game, Louisville's only giving up 19.4. Clemson's giving up 21.6. So Louisville has the advantage in points per game so far. Total yards, the Cardinals are getting 423 yards, total yards per game. Clemson's averaging 405, so Louisville has the advantage there in total points. And yards allowed, 343 from Louisville, 334 for Clemson. So Clemson has the advantage, in the defensive side. Clemson has a very, very good defensive line. If I had to give my prediction for the game, I'm picking Clemson to get this victory. They currently have the spread at a -7 right now. I can clearly see that. Like I said, I think Clemson's defense is going to step up. Definitely after the loss that they just took. I think Louisville, they can make it a game, but in my opinion, Clemson has the better team as a whole. And like I said, they make a quarterback change. DJ Ugalele is a guy, came out of high school, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and just hasn't put it all together in college football. And like I said, Clemson, I think they're going to get this victory, and I think they still have a chance to get in the playoffs. They just have to win out, and definitely a team to look out for, but they're going to have to, win out for the rest of the season. But I can clearly see them winning this game. The next game we'll talk about is Oregon Ducks versus the Washington Huskies. What can I say? Since Oregon took their first loss to Georgia this season, they have been on a tear. They've beaten everybody so far. In my opinion, they are the best team in the Pac-12 right now, and they're showing it. I'm not sure their ranking right now, but I know they're pretty high. They can potentially, if they went out, they'll probably be in the playoffs. Granted, some things go their way. In my opinion, they just have to win out. The Pac-12 has struggled to get, a team in the playoffs, but they have a really, really good chance this season to get a champion this season. Like I said, Oregon has Bo Nix, thrown for 2,495 yards. Could be a guy to be looking out for the Heisman. Ever since he left Auburn, he just, has excelled at Oregon, and he's playing at a high level right now. Washington, on the other hand, they have Michael Penix Jr. I think it's Penix Jr. He's thrown for 3,232 yards. This guy's Has some passing yards on them, guys. 23 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. Washington, a team, that made the playoff a couple of years ago, way back in, I think in, what year was that, 2016? A very, very good team. And, Washington since then hasn't, they've been quiet lately, but they only have 2 losses in the season. A team that looks to improve, they're averaging 38.6 yards a game. Oregon's averaging 43. So Oregon has the advantage there. They're allowing 26 points per game. Oregon's allowing 26 points per game too. So both teams are allowing about the same. Washington's getting 495 total yards. Oregon is getting 520. So Oregon has the advantage there. Yards allowed. Washington is allowing 355. Oregon is allowing 384. So Washington has a slightly better defense. Like I said, Washington took a loss to UCLA, Arizona State, beat Arizona, beat Cal, beat, I think at the time, Oregon State team 24-21, so it was a close game. Meanwhile, Oregon just beat everybody that they played. They beat UCLA, they beat Cal, they beat Colorado. Just a lot of teams that they've beaten. And like I said, they're undefeated on the season. They're putting up a lot of points, 40-plus points. So if I had to pick a winner, I'm looking at the spread. They currently have Oregon at 13.5. I can definitely see that. I expect Oregon to get this victory. And I'm not sure where they're playing, but Oregon's been playing at a high level so far, and I definitely see them win this game. So I got Oregon winning that game. Next game I want to talk about is Texas Longhorns versus the TCU Horned Frogs. This is going to be an exciting matchup, guys. I'm looking at the spread. They currently have Texas win this game by -7. I don't know. TCU is on a tear right now, guys. They have Max Duggan. This guy is phenomenal. He's thrown for 2,407 yards with 24 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. What can you say? Playing at a high level. Clearly, TCU is I think they're the only Big 12 team that's currently undefeated right now. So they're playing at a high level. They're 9-0. They're going against a Texas team, though, that has Quentin Ewers, who's thrown for 1,336 yards. He was injured, got injured in the Alabama game, but since coming back, he's done a phenomenal job. He's thrown 13 touchdowns, has 5 interceptions. So, he also has a great back behind him in Bijan Robinson, who's ran for 1,129 yards with 12 touchdowns. Beast of a player. TCU has no slouch neither with Kendre Miller. He has 1,009 yards with 12 touchdowns. So this can be an even matchup, guys. Texas has Xavier Worthy, 552 yards with 9 touchdowns. TCU has Quentin Johnston, 650 yards, 4 touchdowns. Looks like it's even on both sides, guys. And like I said, they have Texas at a -7. Texas is averaging 36.1 yards per game. Points per game. TCU is averaging 43 points a game. TCU has the advantage. TCU is giving up 26 points a game. Texas is giving up 21. So Texas has the advantage on the defense side of the ball. I'm looking at the games they won. Like I said, TCU is undefeated. They beat a ranked Kansas team this year. Kansas is a pretty good team this year. They beat Oklahoma State when it was number 8. Huge victory. They beat them in overtime, but they still won the game, guys. Kansas, they beat a good Kansas State team, 38-28. West Virginia's not good this year, but West Virginia put up a fight that game, but they beat West Virginia. Texas Tech team, a team that Texas lost to early on in the season, but Quentin Ewers is just coming back. I'm looking at Texas. Like I said, beat West Virginia. They beat Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry. Held Oklahoma scoreless. Jeff Levy offense, they held them scoreless. That was a huge task. Beat a tough Iowa State team. They also they took a loss to that Oklahoma State team that TCU beat, 41-31. But Texas came back and beat Kansas State, a really good team, 34-27. So they have the game. Like I said, once again, Texas win this game. I think TCU is going to get the victory here. Like I said, if they continue to win out, they're definitely going to be in the playoffs. But a lot of people got Texas win this game. I'm not going to pick a winner for this game because it can go either way, guys. Because Texas, in my opinion, has the better defense, but I wouldn't be shocked if TCU pulled this out. So I'm not going to pick a winner for that game. We'll just go to the next game and talk about that one. Texas A&M versus Auburn. Now, this matchup right here, Jimbo Fisher is currently 3-6 right now. This is supposed to be a Texas team that's supposed to compete for a championship this year, guys. And since then, he has a lot of quarterbacks coming in and out. And I was shocked that he played. Who did he play last game, if I'm not mistaken? I think he went back to Haynes King last game. And I thought he was going to go with Wayman. Wayman came in at one game and won the game for them. Had good, day passing the ball and everything like that. But went back to Haynes King. I don't know why. Haynes King has thrown 7 touchdowns but has 6 interceptions. Just not that good, quarterback. And I thought he would have went with Connor Wayman. Auburn, on the other hand, has Robbie Ashford. He has 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So he's not that good as well, but he definitely has legs. And he can extend drives with his legs. We all know Auburn just fired their head coach, Brian Harsin, and Cornell Williams has stepped up as the head coach. And to be honest, he seems like he could be a good fit for Auburn, guys. I mean, this is a former Auburn legend, a guy that's played at Auburn. And it seems like he brings some fire to the team, He could probably have them playing at their full potential, And like I said, both these teams got 6 losses on the season. Both of them 3-6. I think both of them have a 5-game losing streak. It's crazy. I think Texas A&M lost their 2nd game of the season. I think Auburn lost their 3rd. Thing about it though, Texas A&M lost to Appalachian State. I think Auburn first game they lost to Penn State. So I'm looking at the stats for the game, guys. Points per game. Texas A&M is averaging 22.8. Arkansas is averaging 24 points per game. Auburn has a slight advantage. Points allowed. Texas A&M allowing 23.9. Auburn's allowing 30. Texas A&M seems like a slightly better defense. Looking at total yards, Texas A&M is getting 365. Auburn is getting 382. So Auburn is getting better total yards than Texas A&M. Points allowed, Texas A&M 380. Yards per allowed, 388. Auburn is allowing 403. Like I said, Texas A&M has the better defense. But I'm looking, if you were to break that down, Texas A&M is allowing 173 through the air, and they're allowing 215 on the ground. So Texas A&M has a better passing defense, but their rushing defense is horrible. And they're going against a team in Auburn that can run the ball really, really well. Like I said, Auburn is allowing 211 in the air, but they're allowing 191 on the ground too. So Auburn is allowing rushing yards as well, but Texas A&M's rushing defense is worse than Auburn. But with all that being said, if I had to pick a winner for this game, I'm looking at the spread. They have -1.5 for Auburn. I think Auburn's going to get this victory. It could be close though. Texas A&M still has A-Chain, so it could definitely go both ways. But I think Auburn going to squeak it out, and Jimbo Fisher might fall to 3-7, and he's definitely on the hot seat, guys. I don't know what Texas A&M is going to do. I think he has a huge buyout, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. We'll move on to the next game. Next game is Maryland versus Penn State. In this matchup, you got a team in Penn State. To me, they're the 3rd best Big Ten team. They took losses to both Ohio State and Michigan this season. And Sean Clifford, he's just been up and down, as a quarterback. He has 16 touchdowns, but he has 7 interceptions. And that's what I mean by up and down. He's inconsistent, considering this is a guy that's been in the system for a very, very long time. It seems like he's been there at Penn State for so long. And they're going against a team in Maryland. You know, Maryland has reached their potential. You know, they have Tua's younger brother there. He's thrown for 2,078 yards for 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So, like I said, he's same. Both quarterbacks, you know, are up and down. You know, but Maryland has Roman Hemby, and he's ran for 747 yards, 7 touchdowns. You know, Penn State has Nicholas Singleton, very, very good running back, with 679 yards and 8 touchdowns. So, you know, they both got 2 good rushing running backs, you know, that can carry the team for them if need to be. Of course, Penn State has Parker Washington. He's received 597 yards with 2 touchdowns. Maryland has Raheem Jarrett, who has 376 yards, 3 touchdowns. Maryland's averaging 31 points per game. Penn State 34. Maryland's allowing 24. Penn State's allowing 21. I'm looking at their wins and losses. Like I said, Maryland lost. Well, he beat Michigan State, lost to Purdue, beat Indiana, beat Northwestern, lost to Wisconsin. In my opinion, Wisconsin not a good team this season, so Maryland lost to them. Penn State, like I said, their only 2 losses came to Michigan and Ohio State, one of the upper, you know, just a tier up, you know, better than Penn State. They have the better losses, in my opinion. If I had to go with a winner in this game, you know, they got Penn State as a minus, you know, 10-point favorite. I could definitely see that. You know, like I said, both quarterbacks have, you know, struggled, but I'm going to give a victory to Penn State, you know. And that's all my predictions that I have for today, guys. And once again, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.